Most people are attracted to knowledge that's not practical. If it's something that you can learn,
right,
but you don't have to put it into practice,
right,
that's the easy knowledge.
right.
But when you learn something that's practical, now you have to actually do it.
Right.
That involves work.
Right.
It involves learning. It involves listening. Maybe even teaching, studying, researching.
Yeah.
You know, it involves work. And most people don't want to do no work when it comes to, for example, I think I might have been telling you about when Rasheen was having an issue. Well, I think I might have been talking to my son, but Rasheen was having an issue with some girl he was messing with in his projects.
Oh, okay. I think I remember.
And I told him, I said, listen, if you want to be able to deal with her effectively, you're gonna have to learn some psychology.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to read some books.
Yeah.
He like, I don't want to have to read no book just to have a relationship.
Right.
But people don't understand in relationships it involves work.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are single. Because when you get a practical knowledge of relationships, then you fall in love. Love is duty. Love is an action word. It's a verb.
Right.
It's something that you have to actually do. Right. Now you're responsible for a whole nother person.
Yeah.
And then if you have a child, now you're responsible for that wife and that child. If you have another child, now you're responsible for 3 people.
Right.
Most people don't want that kind of responsibility.
Right.
So when you learning stuff about African history, the chakras, the third eye, none of that is practical.
Right.
None of that is practical, because once you learn about all of African history, you can go back 1,000,000 years in African history, and you know all of the deities and all of the hieroglyphics that's on the wall, and you know all about the third eye, the chakras, and meditating and prayer and all of that. But at the end of the day, if you don't get up and go to work in the morning, those bills ain't gonna be paid.
Right. Because that knowledge, like you said, it's not practical.
It's not practical.
It's not making you no money learning that shit.
Right.
So learn something that's gonna make you some bread.
It's not that kind of knowledge is not pushing the world forward at all. You're not making no contribution to the world by knowing something that's not practical.
Right.
Like
unless there's like a, you know what I mean,
like what?
Unless there's like okay, the message in the story, in this story is this, that, and the third. How can you make yourself better? Because I feel like this, right? I feel like in everything we go through in life, we're just
hold up, but
ourselves.
Right, but you said if you're reading a story and that story is helping you make your life better, that's called practical knowledge.
Well, this is what I'm saying though. But look, it can become practical, but you could, you saying stuff like prayers and third eye and stuff like that is not practical, or you know what I mean? You saying it's not practical.
No, I'm not saying prayer. I'm saying
not prayer, but
I'm saying once you learn,
even like African history, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is, okay, for example, let's use that.
Mm-hmm.
Learning about these people and learning the way they operated.
Learn about what people?
Like specific people, like
what people? Just name a people, for example.
I don't know. King Tut, right? You learn about him, for example. You learn his story, or
right.
What's son name?
Who? Is it a deity?
No. A real person. I'm not talking about like what's son name? That was going around. He was the richest man.
Mansa Musa. Yeah. What about him?
Look, you learn about him and learn about his ways and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's something in there that you can like take out and apply to you.
That's called practical knowledge.
But that's what I'm saying. You can also learn about him and just learn the history of him and never think of it in a way how you can apply it to you. So that's That's not practical knowledge at that point.
No, you could if I
see what I'm
study
saying?
if I study you, Chris, right? And I see that you have some ways that's helping you be successful.
Right.
And I say, you know what? Chris is doing this and he's getting these results.
Right.
Now, my observation, I'm just observing. You don't even know that you're teaching me something. But I take what you're doing because it's working for you and I try it for myself.
Right.
What I'm doing is I'm practicing what you're doing. That's called practical knowledge.
Right.
So you can get
But
that.
then look,
You can get that
but then
from.
look, the same way how you would do that. You looking at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it could be another person looking at me the same way, right? And
Mhm.
just learning, and then all they're interested in is just the story.
Right. Now look, I can relate that to how people read the Bible and look at Jesus, right?
Yes. I was gonna get to that, but yes.
Right, but then what do you do when you find out that the whole story is fake and Jesus never existed?
Right.
So the story itself is not important. The principle
Right.
is important, but
Right.
most people don't take the principle
so tied to
because
the story.
because what happened is Jesus was feeding people. Jesus was washing people's feet.
Right.
Jesus was turning over the tables of the money changers.
Right.
Like Jesus was putting work in.
Yeah.
This is the part that people don't want to have nothing to do with.
Left at the fork to continue
So
on
so what they
exit
do
47B.
is they take the story and they sensationalize it
Yeah.
and they start praising Jesus instead of looking at Jesus and saying, let me practice
Yeah, the moral
what
of the
he's
story,
practicing so that way I can be like
Keep right at
Jesus.
the fork to stay on exit 47B.
But that's the thing, like, people don't really realize that it's really, you know what I mean? It's perception, really.
Continue on Virginia
That's
7
all it
East for
really
1.5
is, the way
miles.
you see things.
Right.
You know, because there's a good in everything. And that's, like, people don't really see that. Like, they just see it for what it is, even if it presents itself as bad. You know, they just accept it, like, it's bad. Or, oh, this is good. And then they